Gobert's a liability. We know anytime Luka Doncic can pull up in a cab, Rudy Gobert is already messed up. Okay, I mean that's just how it is. That's how bad it is for Rudy Gobert when he sees Luka Doncic. Having said all of that, now Doncic's got LeBron James as a teammate. Austin Reeves has really elevated his level of play. JJ Redick, as far as I'm concerned, is a candidate for Coach of the Year. I think he's done an outstanding job along with his staff. I think Minnesota's lone shot to win this series is Anthony Edwards has to be the biggest star on the stage. And here's the thing. Even with Luka and LeBron, I think he's capable of doing it. I still don't think it'll be enough for them to win the series. I got the Lakers winning the series. But do I think that Anthony Edwards has it in him to potentially be the biggest star on the stage, even with LeBron and Luka? I think he could do it. What do you say to that?
I want to watch him try. So Luka torched the Wolves last year when he was on the Mavericks. I'm talking 33, 10, and 8 in that series, especially the games in Minnesota. He didn't care about being in Minnesota. He dropped a dagger on those fans repeatedly. The thing about this matchup that I think is interesting is we have seen LeBron can still be a dominating player, but we've also seen that he's got to kind of moderate his energy. The advantage that he's had since Luka has been back is that sometimes he's able to moderate his energy and then hit the gas in the fourth quarter. If the Wolves are going to play the way that they like to play, there is opportunities for LeBron to rest on defense. They'll put him on Rudy Gobert because he's not afraid to fight him in the post. And he doesn't have to run around on the perimeter. He'll have to be in some screen and roll action. They'll put him on Jaden McDaniels, who, has moments where he hits shots, but like LeBron will be able to come off of him.
Well, don't put Jaden McDaniels on him. Don't put Jaden McDaniels on him. LeBron shoots 55% when guarded by Jaden McDaniels.
That's a great stat. I'm glad you just educated me on it. So I think this matchup is somewhat, I don't think anybody feels great in the West, but I think this matchup is somewhat comfortable for the Lakers, at least in the way they can align. Now, the curveball is Ant, because that guy can come in to crypto and drop 50. I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
Yes, he can.
And so that's what I want to see. The Wolves are not as good defensively as they were a year ago, but they are better offensively. And you can trace that to Ant's being, and the guy, by the way, he hit 7 threes on Sunday and became the season leader in most three-pointers made. The guy is a verified weapon from three-point range. This guy gets it.
playoffs. The Clippers and the Warriors season came down to a battle to stay out of the play-in, and the Warriors lost.
For Memphis, who frankly has not delivered many impressive victories in the second half of the season. That said, it's a one-off playoff game, and the Warriors have not done well in the play-in at all since a couple of times they've been in it. They still are in the playoffs. They get a team in Houston that will be a challenge, who beat them a couple of maybe the week and a half ago. But the difference between the number 2 seed and the number 7 seed in the West is negligible between those teams. What I would say is they lost 3 of the last 5 games coming in.
Yeah.
And at home. These were home games. And now they've got Steph with a thumb injury. They got Jimmy Butler with a thigh contusion, and he played 48 minutes. And you're already got an older team that's a smaller team. So you're asking them to play almost down the line with bigger guys, and you're now wearing on them a little bit. I'm not sure you gave yourself the best chance to succeed. I will say Jimmy Butler has routinely been amazing in single elimination situations. This is why they traded for him for this game. Even though he's banged up and he just played all those minutes, I'd expect him to be great on Tuesday night. My faith in the Warriors has been a little shaken with the way they finished, though. They went 19-2 during that stretch when Steph and Jimmy were in the lineup together. You and I talked about them a lot in there, and then after all that, they still didn't get what their goal was, which was to get a top 6 seed. Right. And the way they were outplayed on their home court in basically a vitally important game against the Clippers, it was worrisome. And so I take nothing off the table, but my confidence in them has definitely been shaken.
Let me ask you this question when he put you somewhat on the spot, my brother. If you're the Golden State Warriors, which should you have preferred? This play-in, where you're going up against Memphis. Ultimately, if you beat them, you're the 7th seed and you get Houston in the first round. Or you win yesterday and you're the 6th seed and it's the Lakers you draw in the first round. Which one should the Warriors have preferred?
Well, if they beat the Grizzlies handily, or have an easy victory where nobody else gets hurt and they don't have to play 3 overtimes or something, you could look in the mirror and say it's not the worst situation, because you still get 5 days off, or at least 4 days off between now and the start of the playoffs. You can rest up, and you get a team that is impressive defensively but not experienced.